Okay, this is obviously the Rex 26 188. Incredibly powerful commercial grade machine. It's designed to be mounted to really a work table. You can see in the rear there we've got that 5.2 amp motor that has 4 mounting points. You can mount it securely. Right now I have it mounted to a weightlifting weight of about 10 pounds, which barely holds it because it's got that much kick. And then I've got it tethered to the machine with basically a treadle dry belt. It's an all leather dry belt. And again, I'm going to be including 2 different belts. This short one, if you decide you want to mount it on the table as I have it here, that's the way I've set it up for my purposes. And then also you can certainly mount it underneath the table, a workbench style table, and then mount that bobbin winder as well that you see on the right side there with a bobbin attached to it. So I'm going to give you some quick measurements on this machine so you know what the dimensions of this machine are. It's got an incredibly large bed workspace. If I take it from the outside all the way past the needle, you're looking at about 18.5 inches. And from the pillar, the inside of the pillar, to the needle, you're looking at almost 11 inches. The height clearance on this machine from the bed to the top in the harp space area is going to be right around 6 inches. And the overall bed length again is going to be right around 18.5 inches. So the space you have with this machine is mind-boggling when it comes to the overall workspace of the machine. And being able to turn heavy grade materials or whatever you pretty much want to sew with this thing. And from the outside of the balance wheel where the belt is to the faceplate, you're looking at about 18 inches as well. So this is just a beast of a machine when it comes to giving you the capacity to sew anything you want. I'm going to go ahead and add this weight right here to the back of the machine, leaning against that 5.2 amp motor, just so we can really throttle this thing up and give you an idea of what full speed kind of looks like with this machine. And I'm going to carefully slide this into place. And then I'm going to take the camera off and come over here so you can actually get a closer look at the machine spinning up and just watch it at full capacity. So you can see a little bit of a jostle with the camera. Not going to drop you, I promise. At least I hope I won't. Alright, so we're heading over to the machine here and give you a look at the back as well. You can see here's our motor right there. It's kind of getting out of focus. This is an incredibly great motor. It's made by a great company called Emerson. Anyone that knows anything about electric motors, they make a great motor. And you can see here on the bottom, actually you can't see because I have that weight in the space, but you've got 4 mount points on this motor that are going to allow you to secure it to a table. So when you engage that dry belt, which I have pretty much in line, you're going to be able to throttle this thing up without potentially it moving like I'm running into, because I've got it makeshift set up on this table right now. So I'm going to go ahead and light that industrial commercial grade walking foot. Give this thing a little bit of juice so you can kind of see this sucker throttle up and get an idea of what full power might look like with this machine. So here we go. Got just a little bit of kick, and I only did one sew off with this yesterday, and you may have looked at that video already. This was 2 thicknesses of genuine cowhide leather, and you know what, I got through it with incredible stitch quality, as you can see, and mowed through it so quickly it was like, that's it. So, you know, 2 layers of cowhide leather, which is probably like I can't even guess, probably like 9 to 12 weight leather. When you put those two together, we're basically looking at belt straps, and it's crazy thick. And this machine just went through it like, okay, next challenge. So you know what? If you're looking for taking your business to the next level, if you're looking to sew stuff that other people would just go, are you crazy? This Rex is designed to do that. It's engineered from a standpoint that I can't even describe it to you fully. It really ideally, yesterday you may have seen that stitch off I did, and I set it up with a spool of thread up here, and you can see you've got a lower and a higher thread feed in here. That's what those holes are for, really just to have a thread tree off to the side, and then feed that thread into there and then through the machine, because I can't even guess. If I were to guess and just kind of spitball number of stitches per minute, you're looking at close to probably 3,000 stitches per minute. It may be higher than that. I'm just guessing based on what this 5.2 amp motor drives this machine at. So you know what? This is the Rex, and I would strongly suggest, if you're interested in a machine like this, that you move really, really, really quick. All right, so what are you looking at on Scott's workbench here? It looks like a Rex 26-188. Now, what's that all about? I mean, this certainly looks like a vintage machine, but it's a commercial machine. So what's the story behind this thing? Well, I'll tell you this. This particular machine is for sale. I serve a lot of my customers locally here in Wisconsin, and I'll get called by them after they find me on Facebook or maybe YouTube, and they'll say, Scott, I've got a machine that I need service, but I'm not strong enough to carry it into the sewing center anymore, and they won't come and service it at my home. Will you help me out? So I've done that lots of times. Senior citizens, I've got a real special place in my heart for them, and I love helping when I can. So I'll go out to their home and I'll service their machine in the home, get it back running top notch, and leave a very happy customer behind. I went to serve a customer in this area who had retired from the local tech college teaching sewing, industrial style sewing. And this was her machine for a long time, this Rex 26-188. She had a commercial business that she ran with it and just loved it, but it got to be too much for her. So I worked out a deal with her. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll offer you this machine at this price, and then I'll help you sell your old Rex machine. So this is all about trying to sell this machine for this wonderful lady. I'm not going to benefit from it other than obviously trying to help her out. And it's a heck of a machine. Give you an idea what's on this workbench right now. This thing weighs probably close to 80 pounds. And it's all about commercial grade engineering in this machine. Japanese engineered. It's going to last forever, long after I'm gone. And what I've done with it is I happen to have an extra commercial grade motor in my garage, and I've decided to put this motor with it. You can certainly just sell this by itself, but I thought, you know what, it'll be a lot easier for a customer if they see that the machine runs and that they've got pretty much a setup turnkey operation. So the motor I'm including with it is a 5.2 amp motor. You heard me right, 5.2 amps. Now, y'all know how much I love FOF machines, right? This is a 1.3 amp motor, and it will sew through practically anything. 1.3 amps, 5.2 amps. You also know what a love I have for the Swedish beauties, as I call them, the Swedish sewing machines, the Husqvarna Vikings. Original Viking motor, 1.5 amps. It can sew anything. 5.2 amps as far as what I've got connected to this commercial grade Rex machine. So you can figure it out. You're smart. You've got a machine here that if you're looking to do sewing that is beyond imagination, this machine can get the job done for you. I'm going to go ahead and get a tighter shot, and what we're going to try to do is just do a quick sew off. I'm not going to do extensive videos on this machine. This machine speaks for itself. You know, if you're looking for something extremely commercial grade, there it is. So I'm going to zoom in. We'll zip through some leather real quick. Now I will tell you, before I zoom in, I'm going to come over here and show you. I've got this set up very makeshift on my workbench. I basically have a non-skid pad. I've got some weightlifting weights, and I've got the motor actually mounted to a weightlifting weight as well with metal zip ties. You can, when you get this in your home, you can set this up in a permanent fashion. This is totally temporary right now for the purposes of just trying to sell this machine for this lady. And along with this, I'll just show you real quick, commercial grade machine like this, there's a special bobbin winder that you're going to mount to the table as well. And I'll include a longer belt with this also, and that way, actually I got that turned around the wrong way. As you're winding bobbins, this will be mounted to your table. The motor will be mounted to your table or underneath your table, and then you'll have a more secure fashion of this machine, so it's not going to potentially move around like it will when I'm using it right now on my workbench. But I'm just showing you this is included, the head of the machine itself, the motor, the belt, and then I'll include an extra belt as well, so you can set it up however you want to set it up in your sewing area. And obviously it's going to be a heavy machine to ship, so that'll be a factor we'll have to calculate as well. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in now, and we will go ahead and see what this Rex commercial machine is capable of doing. All right, so let me get in place. And what we're going to be sewing off on, and I'll try to get it in the camera where you can see it hopefully, are two very thick pieces of genuine cowhide. You can look at the back side as well. It's absolutely genuine, and we're going to go through two pieces of this. Now, some of you that follow me very closely can say, hold on a second, Scott, you've sewn metal, I almost said sewn metal, I've come close. You've sewn leather as thick as this with your vintage machines, and that's absolutely true. I absolutely have sewn two thick pieces of leather like this on my vintage machines that I restore, because I have no doubt in my mind at all that they can do it. I'm not demonstrating the full capacity of this commercial machine, just showing you that it can sew off on leather fairly easily. And I'm going to have to kind of get the hand wheel started a little bit, just because I've got this set up on my workbench makeshift, and I don't want to get some bad start offs. So, all right, enough said. Here we go, two thick pieces of heavy grade leather. All right, I have to kind of harness this thing back just a little bit, and I'll try to bring the camera out as well. I'm going to leave the leather right here so you can see it as I adjust the camera. Let's see here, come out a little bit. I don't want to come out too far because I want you to be able to still see the stitch quality of it as well. We'll kind of do it that way. Okay, so all I can say is that I barely had the foot control down. Now that's our top stitch right there. Stitch formation, stitch quality is absolutely picture perfect. If I turn it around, we've got an equally gorgeous lock stitch as well on the back. And you know what? I am going to zoom in closer because I want you to see how beautiful that stitch is. Some commercial machines that I've had exposure to, you know what? They can sew through stuff, but the quality of the sewing is nothing that I would tout as picture perfect. I certainly would with this Rex. And some of you might wonder, well, Scott, are you going to service this machine before it's shipped out? Absolutely. Look at that stitch quality. I'm going to try to do it like this as well. I'll try to go different angles. That's our lock-in stitch on the bottom. It's absolutely gorgeous. And again, our top stitch. And again, look at from the side what we just sewed through. I mean, that is extremely thick, genuine cowhide leather. And again, with this being a commercial grade machine, it's just done. And once you get it mounted on a table, heavy grade table at home, get everything in place, I mean, I can't imagine anything that you're going to encounter, anything from scuba webbing to heavy grade leather to vinyl to denim. I mean, you name it, you'll be able to sew it. So incredibly awesome machine. Not my cup of tea per se, because I am geared more towards traditional vintage machines. And again, the way that I supercharge my vintage machines, you know what? To an extent, for a while, they could hold their own with a machine like this. But let's just face it, a commercial machine is for commercial grade sewing, and this commercial machine, that's what it was engineered to do. That's what it was made to do. That's why just the head of the machine is over 80 pounds. So if you're looking for the ultimate machine on the commercial side, this Rex is definitely the machine you want to consider. So also be including bobbins with it as well. Needles are real cheap on this machine, inexpensive I should say. You can find them on eBay readily. If you look on eBay for the Rex 26-188, it's like $4, $5 for 10 needles. So I'm not going to include a bunch of needles with this because they are very inexpensive. Might order one pack for the winner of this. Now, am I going to sell it auction style? Probably not. What I'd like to do is say, make an offer on this machine. I can tell you what they're worth, especially considering that I'm including a 5.2 amp commercial grade motor to drive this machine. The motor alone, $150 to $200. The head of the machine, which is in perfect operating condition, with an industrial commercial grade walking foot already built into the machine, $500. So I would be looking to get an offer of somewhere around $700 plus shipping, and I don't think that's unreasonable. If I don't get an offer through my Facebook business page or through my YouTube channel, then I'm probably going to auction it on eBay and go that route. But I think one of you out there has been looking for a machine like this, a machine that will take your business from a commercial grade level to the next level. This is it. Again, 5.2 amps will just knock your socks off depending on what type of sewing you're looking to do. But also because of the way I've got it set up and wired, you're going to be able to control the power of this beast as well. So make me an offer on this machine. I'd like to start with a minimum offer of around $700 plus shipping, and you can make this machine your own. So contact me. I would move quick. I don't think this machine's going to be sitting here too terribly long.